What's up, everybody? Welcome in 5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10. Always trying to have some fun on the show. Today, I want to talk to you about going viral. Well, not really going viral, my version of going viral. So, I have a running joke with some buddies of mine that I've never had like 100 likes, or I've never had a bunch of shares. It's just, they ask why be on social media, what's the point, for business. And it's not about these big, huge numbers. I have to tell my nephews that all the time. Like, Uncle Sean, if you don't have 1 million views, why do you bother? And it's like, well, because if you could reach 100 people in my industry, it might be valuable to you down the road. So, there's differences there. But recently, well, it's not even recently though. Recently, the video, a show we did 10 months ago about EVs being stupid. Everyone knows how I feel about EVs, and so it all of a sudden somehow it got put on a couple of EV threads somehow, and then it just all of a sudden it went from like 300 views to 500 to 1,000 to 5,000 in like a week, 10 days. And it was just the craziest thing because it's never happened to my content before. I at one time reposted something at like the height of when it had happened. And so that had gone, in that terms, it picked up huge views and shares and all of that. But it was more of a timing of a thing. So anyways, the whole reason I bring this up is because at the end of the day, what I've learned about going viral, or again, having a huge amount of views in a short period of time, I realize that going viral means millions of views. And we're not talking about that here. We're talking about hundreds, and in this case, thousands of views. But for a page of mine, what also happened was I picked up a ton of new subscribers. The biggest gain of new subscribers that I've had in the history of my show at any 30-day period. This was it, right? It was like 50, 75 people. It was like 30% of the audience, right? That we normally have kind of doubled over. And so it was really cool to watch happen. And it was the comments and all of that. It was wild because I'd come up and there'd be a bunch of notifications, and they started taper off. And then just like any good drug, right? It went away. And so you're like, all right, now it's not that big of a deal. And I had done a second episode that had started to catch some fire as well as a part of that whole thing. Like I did a follow-up show. But it was 10 months later, literally, that the content somehow it made its way somewhere else via someone else. Typically, I find it's people being angry, right? So like my stuff gets posted, and people are like, "This guy's an asshole," blah blah blah. And so, but this EV post, it was like down the middle, I had people who thought I was the Antichrist, and I had people who thought I was wonderful. And it was, you can't really choose your audience in that way. And that's another lesson that I learned is you end up. I end up picking up people following my page that probably will end up not following it after a while, or whatever the case might be. The fact of the matter is they came, they saw the content, and they're looking for more of it. It was kind of fun, but I say this because I think dealers try a little bit too hard for that, right? That whole idea, if it doesn't go viral, like I have a client of mine who has, family that works at the dealership, and one of the family members is like, look, what's the point of doing posts on social media if they don't get thousands or millions of views? Well, the point of doing it is to get hundreds of views, hopefully within an audience of people that might actually be willing or in the market sometime to do what it is that you're offering to do. To get millions of views is about being able to leverage those millions of views to get people to pay you to do things and say things that will get you millions of views, thus get their product millions of views. So it's a slightly different approach. And I think that going viral should mean something different to people who aren't going to ever see the millions of views, myself included. Many other creators and people that I know aren't going to see it. I also know creators that do it and see it. So it's a difference of how long you've been doing it, how much time you commit. Everyone knows I don't play algorithm games, so I don't post in that way. I post for me, for my business, for my point. But if you want to make a business of it, going viral, having millions of views is the only way to monetize it. That's why this show doesn't have sponsors. That's why this show doesn't, I don't get into the YouTube action side of it. I don't even qualify for it given the small number of actual people that follow the page. So again, we need to sort of bring it down to a level at which it makes sense for you and your business. So for me, going viral, sort of, is about getting thousands of views on a video that would normally get hundreds. That's a 10x. That's a big deal. That's how I would view that when you go through and you create your social media. and you go through and you do these things. And so I'll use it as an opportunity to selfishly tell you that coming up this September in Austin, Texas, we're going to be doing the Being Social event, which is going to cover all of these things from people who have gone viral, from people who know what's actually best, when's best, what to post, right? People who helped influence the algorithm, talk about it. We're going to have so many great minds in one place. And that's why I'm excited to do it, because frankly, you're about to hear from me as the fortunate moderator of this event, my true feelings about social media in the beginning, the middle, and now the current time. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you so much for joining the show this week. We hope to have all of our dealer friends in attendance in Austin this fall. And tune in next week. We're going to have some fun with mansplaining, only from a different perspective. All right? Thanks a lot. Have yourselves a great week.